Good morning. It's Saturday the 11th of January, and this is a review of the week that has just gone. I don't want to waste your time, so I want to be quick. Time is precious, I don't want to waste it. The reason why I'm doing this video isn't for you, it's actually for myself. It is to maintain and upkeep discipline of never ever think that you have it solved. You're never out of the fight, ever. If you know how quickly people forget the dead, you'll stop living to impress people. Instead, try and impress yourself. I want to talk about the following points. The £10,000 account challenge, the status, the software I use. I also want to talk about what I'm ashamed of this week and what I'm proud of this week. And then in closing, I anticipate that this video will run for about 10 to 15 minutes. Let's see. I started the week and the year with a £10,000 account challenge. That doesn't mean that I'm not trading a big account like I always am, but as was explained in video number 1, I wanted to set myself a challenge of growing an account which was aligned and sized with what many people trade with. I started the week with 10,000. I was as low as 9,850, but I was as high as 11,250, and I finished at 10,979. I have current open positions, making me £182. Moving on, the software I use, I trade with a broker called TD365.com. They have the tightest bid-ask spreads that I've seen anywhere. Their platform though, their cloud platform, is okay, but I needed something better. So I developed a piece of chart called Trade from Chart software, and it sits on top of the TD365 platform as an extension. Now I've used both TradingView and Ninja, but I'll say that the software that I have created is as good or better. You're welcome to use it free of charge, but let me show you why it's really good for me and maybe also for you. It's got a host of tools that I can use. I can switch from P&Ls to points if I want to show that. I can manage all my positions on the chart alone. And this will mean things like I can move my stop loss to break even at the press of a button. If I have multiple positions, which I frequently have when I add to positions, I can click here and close them all. I can take half profit. I can edit, etc. I also have an extensive statistics of how I'm doing if I want to see that. I have a news calendar. But perhaps more importantly, as I'll show you shortly, I've also programmed in the mechanical entry rules that I use, and simply by double clicking within the chart I can place orders straight into the platform just purely by double clicking. I can also very quickly move my take profit and my stop loss, very quickly move them up and down as and where it suits me. One of the things I love about it, and I just want to point out that just because you have a fancy piece of software doesn't make you a good trader, but it sure does help in the management of your positions. I'm able to place orders incredibly quickly, multiple orders if I want to. I can place 10 orders within the space of 20 seconds if I want to, simply just by holding down my shift button or my control button and then press to place my sell orders or my buy orders. And I find that to be a huge advantage when I want to trade fast. And here's the buy order equivalent. Very easy to post. Now this is not a sales pitch because it's free of charge to use. But I think what really makes this software unique is that I keep adding my research to it. So this ASRS is Advanced School Run Signal. I also got the school run, and these appear with the entry points. And these numbers that you're seeing here is the offset. So the actual entry signal would be at 19,127, but then I will add a 2-point offset. So my short signal will be at 25, and obviously for a long position I would then add that on top. But the software does that automatically by using a double click. I constantly add new research to the chart software, and that will then appear programmed into the software. Currently, I'm working on something called Espresso, which is when I want to try and capture a trend day as soon as possible, either in the morning in Europe or in the afternoon in the US. I'm also working on Sniper, which is a late in the day buy on close, sell on close. Orders come into the market, and the Sniper takes advantage or attempts to take advantage of that. Whenever a new version is released, it is done on the Trade from Chart Telegram channel, and I will. This is what it looks like. This is what I'm looking at. This is actually a trade that I took. I'll describe that later on. But up here, I will have the management of my positions, and down here I'll have the researched mechanical order entries as they come in. You can get the software if you want. It's free to use. You will need a TD365 cloud account. It's quite important that it's not MT4. And I'll put a description into the YouTube description for this video on how to get the software. There are no immediate plans to make the software pay-as-you-go because I want to research more signals and input them into the actual trading software. For me, it's phenomenal to trade and actually have the software alert you to say, okay, you got a school run, you got brunch break, you got Sniper, you got Espresso, etc. What am I ashamed of this week? I wanted to include this because I think that we learn more from our failures than we learn from our successes. And I want to show you some of the things that I'm not proud of this week. For example, when I look at the school run long that presented itself here with such a tight stop loss, I'm ashamed that I didn't take that. There was also a brunch break here, but I'm mostly annoyed with myself that I didn't take the long signal right here because the stop loss was phenomenally small. I'm also annoyed that I bought the Dow here. No, I'm not annoyed that I bought the Dow there. I thought that was a good buy. But at its best, I was about 30, 40 points in profit, and I had a stop loss down here. And I'm annoyed that I didn't move the stop loss up to protect my capital. I did move the stop loss up a little bit, but I feel that I could have moved it up much further. I'm also annoyed with myself. I traded this outside of the trading channel, the YouTube channel. I'm annoyed that when I saw this signal here, that I didn't take it in a larger size than I did, because it had a very clearly defined stop loss and a really decent target. And so I don't know what's worse, missing a signal or being in a good trade but not having enough size on. I'm also annoyed with myself that the opposite signal that presented itself here, again, that's a fishing technique. The market goes above a price bar. You can see that in a previous video during the week. I'm really annoyed because the stop loss was so tiny. It was such a tiny stop loss. And of course, I didn't know that this was going to happen. But I don't necessarily believe in risk to reward. I just believe in managing my risk. And having a stop loss of just 40, 50 points in an index that's trading at 43,000, that is very tight. And it would actually have made a phenomenal return. Although I don't know about that until afterwards. I'm also ashamed on the 7th that I saw this school run here and I didn't take it. That really annoyed me because it was a phenomenal move up. And the following day, I didn't take this school run here. Again, that bothers me. All right, in fairness though, on the following day, had I taken the school run here, I would have been decimated on the long side. And guess what? I would have also been decimated on the short side. So I'm not saying that the previous days even themselves out, because I would have lost my Congress here. But it is par for the course that not every signal turned to gold dust. So I'm not saying that as a mitigating circumstance, because I wouldn't have known that this was on the 9th. I'm just saying that you can't pick and choose the signals that you have developed. Either you take them all or you don't take any of them. I did have an idea that the market was going to be somewhat range bound because it was a closed day in America. Having said that, the market actually did manage to pull higher, although there was a lot of overlap bars. I didn't trade much on this day. I generally not trade a lot when there are holidays in certain locations such as Europe or US. What am I proud of this week? Well, I'm very proud that I kept my cool on Friday night and stayed short. I'm proud that even though I was down on Friday and I had gone from plus 4% early in the week to minus 0.5%, I kept my short positions running. Even though I had an opportunity to close those positions and leave the week with a plus 3.8% gain. I traded the chart and I didn't trade the account, and I actually ended up plus 10, more than 10%. But perhaps what I'm most proud of is that I dusted off the weaker performance early in the week. And even though I had 3 losing trades in the same instrument in the FTSE, with 2 of them actually have gone my way quite well, I still put on this trade, which really saved the week. And I want to show you that trade. See right here, this is a screenshot taken at that moment when I just shorted the FTSE at 8,300. And I'm just 0.5 point or 0.1 point in loss. I took the short position because I thought that this area here was basically this area here. And this is what happened. The market went 4 points against me. And then it went all the way down, back down again. And down here I announced that I started taking profit. But I'm also very pleased that I added to the position. Normally I add 1 for 1. So if I'm short £100 a point, I'll add another 100. But here I'm actually only added half because I'm trying to build up the account capital on this £10,000 account. So that I felt was a good trade. Closing. Why am I doing this? Well, I'm doing it because I want to know what my weak trades were during the week. Weak as in the time measure, and weak as in the opposite of strength. I'm not pleased with my school run trades, and I use them as fuel for visualization. But I also want to give you a few words on the way. This is the last slide. Remember, no one is coming to help you. You are alone, so am I. And the sooner you accept this fact, the sooner you can begin to develop self-reliance. It's very nice that you send me complimentary messages on Telegram, but honestly, I am not the person who can make you disciplined. Only you are the person who can make yourself disciplined. And there is no hack to trading. There is no shortcut. It is just the art of execution day after day after day, and then money management and self-management. I do have the answers, but they're no good for you if you can't act upon them. So what you should see me doing the £10,000 account challenge isn't necessarily a tool for you to replicate my trades, but use it as inspiration. And start slow. By all means, you don't have to trade my size. Trade small size, because by trading small size, at least you're doing it. There's the difference between lying on the couch doing fuck all or actually getting around and walking around the block, even if that first walk isn't exactly the Usain Bolt run that you had hoped it to be. But a year or so from now, you can be the Usain Bolt, or maybe not quite, but close to. And while you may not be able to trade big lot size now, start with small lot size. But slowly and gradually, through repetition and review, you will inevitably build up your trading size. And as this presentation also shown, I am by no means a flawless trader. I have doubts, I have insecurities. I lie abed in the morning and the alarm clock rings at 4:40 in the morning and I'm thinking, I don't want to go but I do. I get out of bed, just try not to overthink it. And I think it's the thinking that is the problem in trading. We are overthinking things, and our minds jump from this moment to a future, maybe painful moment. And as the mind's prerogative and primary objective is to protect us against pain, it wants to protect you against pain. That's why we don't take certain trades. So I have doubts and I have insecurities, but it's a mind thing. And I just do the best to shut that bastard up every day. No magic, no special formula, no fancy, oh, I know what's going to happen bullshit because I coded some algo. No, it's just tight money management and the courage to act. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I wish you a beautiful, restful, peaceful, and a fun-filled weekend. And I will see you on Monday when it starts all over again. Stay strong. Take care of yourself. Lots of love. Bye-bye.